Smith. He's there in Mobile, too.
The stop and go on southbound 680 right from the Dublin interchange and stretches all the way down to Highway 84.
New accident in the South Bay North 85 over by Fremont Avenue. First report has CHP on the way. Alan Brooks, meantime, checks the San Mateo Bridge where there's been a stall and also checks peninsula traffic on Sky 3.
Yeah, they've got that stall off to the shoulder of the Foster City end, but a trail of slow traffic all the way across the bridge coming out of Hayward. Northbound 101 slowing from 237 up to San Antonio and Mountain View.
Yeah, you're pretty tough on 101 getting out of South San Jose. There's already stop and go, and then most of the way from Story, it has become solid all the way into Mountain View. Your next update, 8:08 on the traffic leader, KCBS. Now, there's sunny hot one today. We're looking at highs at the 70s at the beaches, 80s Bayside, 90s inland, and some of those furthest inland valleys could top 100 degrees today. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 740 and FM 106.9 KCBS.
It's Monday morning, June 9th, 2014. Coming up on KCBS, this is Matt Bigler in San Jose, where Mayor Chuck Reed is expected to formally endorse Sam Liccardo to replace him.
And on Holy Corn, controversy over a minor car crash involving Oakland's mayor, who witnesses say was on her cell phone.
And investigators in Las Vegas still looking for a motive behind yesterday's shooting that left 2 cops, a civilian, and 2 shooters dead.
Good morning, I'm Stan Bunger.
I'm Susan Lee Taylor.
CBS News covers the world next. What's happening and why? KCBS AM and HD, KFRC FM and HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose.
It's 8 o'clock.
CBS News. I'm Steve Caith, and investigators in Las Vegas are trying to come up with answers after the murders yesterday of 2 police officers and another person. KLAS TV reporter Scott Daniels on those who opened fire first in a pizza place.
The Las Vegas Review-Journal is reporting that it is a young couple who is married, who has ties possibly to a white supremacist group of some sort.
Alvaro Lopez ran into the couple as they fled the restaurant.
He just told me to tell the cop that he was a revolution and he had to steal 2 cops.
Later, police say the woman shot the man, then took her own life. In response to the attack, Las Vegas officers who normally patrol alone are going out in pairs. Overseas, a funeral in the wake of yesterday's deadly airport attack in Karachi, Pakistan. 19 were killed and 10 militants died too. Reporter Annabelle Symington is in Islamabad.
A number of the militants, so it's not clear exactly how many were wearing the same uniforms that the Karachi airport security wear, which is allegedly how they sort of managed to evade detection.
They're checking damage on 2 planes at Boston's Logan Airport this morning. WBZ Radio's Carl Stevens.
Both of these planes were on the tarmac. The blue plane was not moving at all. It's my understanding there wasn't even anybody on it. The Southwest Airlines plane was backing out of the gate here, getting ready to take off. So this happened on the ground this morning, shortly after 7 o'clock. Nobody was hurt.
The passengers on the Southwest jet were put on another plane for their flight to Kansas City. They're cleaning up in several Colorado towns after tornadoes touched down in a line of bad weather. One into the county yesterday at a junior golf tournament where a golf cart was flipped over. 5 years after former UCLA basketball star Ed O'Bannon filed an antitrust suit against the NCAA, it's going to trial. It's about the use of his and other players' images on advertising, broadcasts, and video games. CBS News legal analyst Jeff Ford.
The NCAA says if you allow this to happen, you destroy the entire notion of amateurism. Plus, the NCAA says, hey, and if you're getting a scholarship, you're getting paid. You're getting a lot of money here and a college education in return for your playing, and that should be enough unless you turn pro afterwards.
The U.S. Supreme Court's turned aside appeals from the cigarette industry and the $70 million awarded to Florida smokers. On Twitter and on TV, California Chrome co-owner Steve Coburn has apologized for his 2 days of ranting that Belmont winner Tonalist didn't compete in the first 2 legs of the Triple Crown. Says he's ashamed. In Sao Paulo, Brazil, subway workers strike just a few days before the World Cup soccer tournament's first matches. They want a 12% pay hike. The Wall Street Dow is up 22 points. This is CBS News.
The Bay Area's news station, KCBS. Welcome back forever. A lot more today and another Spare the Air day. Good morning, I'm Stan Bunger.
I'm Susan Lee Taylor.
Here's what's happening.
A minor car crash in West Oakland yesterday could become a political landmine for the city's mayor, who witnesses say was on her cell phone when she ran a red light. As KCBS reporter Holly Claude tells us live this morning, while no one was seriously injured, the incident could hurt her run for re-election. Holly?
Susan, this happened at 26th and Market when Mayor Jean Quan says she was going between two community events when she felt something hit the left rear tire of her city-issued SUV. Police Lieutenant Brandon Worley.
At about 5:30, we received a phone call that the mayor had been involved in a non-injury accident at 26th and Market Street. Units responded. The investigation is still ongoing.
And key to that investigation are witness statements that claim the mayor was on her cell phone and did not have the right of way. Bystander Margaret Randall tells KPI at 5.
I know. I really felt standing right there when it happened. And I really clearly see her run the red light.
Now, this comes a week after the mayor was photographed using her phone while driving. She says in that incident she was looking up an address. This time she vehemently denies she was on her phone and says she'll release her phone records to prove it. This comes amidst a re-election fight with 17 challengers to her job and criticism over political gridlock at City Hall. Reporting live, Holland Swan, KCBS.
Thanks, Holly. Oakland police meantime investigating a collision last night between a police cruiser and a pedestrian. A police spokesman says this happened near International Boulevard and 83rd Avenue. He says the officers were not involved in any sort of chase at the time, and further details are not available. The woman who was hit taken to a hospital complaining of pain in the arm.
Oakland police trying to determine a motive for a shooting that left a 15-year-old girl dead and 2 men wounded, one critically. According to a police spokesman who was speaking to the Oakland Tribune, someone opened fire on the car the victim was riding in, hitting all 3 people inside. The girl pronounced dead at the scene, the driver stable condition, the other man critical. None of the victims have been identified.
The race for mayor of San Jose with an interesting development today. The current mayor due to make a formal endorsement later this morning. KCBS's Matt Bigler live in our Silicon Valley Bureau to report Mayor Chuck Reed is expected to back a current member of the city council. Matt?
And few San Jose political watchers will be surprised that Mayor Chuck Reed will formally endorse city council member Sam Liccardo later this morning. Liccardo has been a strong supporter of the mayor's pension reform efforts. KCBS political analyst and San Jose State political science professor Larry Gersten says an endorsement from an outgoing mayor is helpful, assuming the mayor is popular.
It's fair to say that Chuck Reed remains relatively popular. So yes, you can put that arrow in Liccardo's quiver, and it will help him. And remember, of the 5 major candidates, 4 of them supported Measure B, and so if you add up all their votes, that looks pretty good for Liccardo.
Liccardo is running against Santa Clara County Supervisor Dave Cortese, who has vowed to undo much of Reed's work by abandoning parts of Measure B, which has been blamed by labor unions for the exodus of San Jose police officers. Gersten says the race for mayor of San Jose has become a referendum of sorts on pensions.